Oh my gosh, this is so heavy. Okay, this thumbnail is gonna be fun. Hello, welcome back. Today we have a book haul. This is my first book haul of 2024, and I have quite a few books here to talk about. These are books that I've gotten maybe from a used bookstore or from friends for Christmas, from friends for my birthday, from family. So everything that I have received between like Thanksgiving-ish time and now. So jumping right in, we have When I Spoke in Tongues, and this is by Jessica Wilbanks, and this I got from a coworker actually. She found it and brought it to me, and she was like, I need you to read this and tell me if it's good. So it is a memoir about a girl who grew up in poverty in the backwoods of southern Maryland, which is fairly close to where I live in Virginia, in a Pentecostal family. And it's about like basically the cult aspect of Pentecostal living that she suffered, and the abuse and the neglect and just everything that happened, the secrets and the religious trauma. So very excited about that one. And yeah, I don't really know much else about it. It looks like it maybe is indie published. But yeah, I love a good memoir, especially if it's about a religious cult. Next, we have The Clinic by Kate Quinn, and this was sent to me by my friend Jessie from the channel Reading with Jess. She sent this to me for my birthday because this is the Sleep When I'm Dead book club pick for February. So I will put the date and time of the book discussion on the screen, but definitely join Sleep When I'm Dead and discuss this book with us. It says Meg works for a casino in LA, a far different path than her sister Haley, who's a famous actress. But then suddenly Haley dies at the surface of a remote rehab facility where she had been to get her addiction under control. There are whispers of suicide, but Meg doesn't believe that. Battling her own addictions and figuring out the truth will be much more difficult than she imagined. So seems like it has like remote, maybe late asylum vibes, but definitely like rehab, hospital vibes. And I just love that cover. It's just like gorgeous. I feel like it's very trendy right now to have a cover with like a mansion and you have like a cliff in the water. I feel like that's trendy right now, but it is beautiful. Next, I have Magic Hour by Kristen Hanna. I don't actually know what this is about. I just know that it's in the Pacific Northwest. And I got this actually when I was in the Pacific Northwest in Oregon. And I got this because I am reading it for a vlog. So I don't want to go too much into detail about it. This is part of Kristen Hanna's backlist. I've read 2 books by her. Well, 3. One I've DNF'd, one I've given 5 stars, and one I've given 4 stars. So I am super excited to dive into another Kristen Hanna. Her world building is great. Her character development is great. I think everything I've read by Kristen Hanna up till now has been historical, and I don't believe this is. So that'll be something different for me as well. Next, we have Notes on a Silencing, a memoir by Lacey Crawford. And I picked this up from my friend Jackie, her channel Jacqueline. I will link it below, but she has a little free library. And so I was at her house this past weekend because we were having a cookbook club meeting. And if you have never heard of Cookbook Club, definitely look it up on TikTok. It was so much fun. And so this is a memoir that was on her little free library shelf. She has a little free library steward, and she was like, hey, if you want to pick any books off the shelf, go ahead. So this one I have had on my radar like a really long time, ever since it came out. I think it came out like maybe 2 years ago. And this is about a school that came under investigation for extensive reports of sexual abuse on campus. Lacey Crawford thought she had put behind her assault she'd suffered decades before. Her criminal case file was reopened, and so yeah, it looks like reopening of a case of sexual abuse at this school. And it talks about being a student and feeling like there was lack of adult concern with the things going on. So yeah, seems really hard-hitting and sad, probably very heartbreaking. And it seems like part memoir, part like true crime. He also gave me The Fury by Alex Michaelides. I saw that she received this from the publisher and she was going to put it in her little free library. And I was like, hey, can you pull that out of your little free library? Because I want to read it. So I picked it up when I was there this past weekend as well. And this did come out this month. And this, I don't actually know what it's about. I just know that it's like a murder mystery. And I loved The Patient by Alex Michaelides. I liked The Maidens just fine, but this one I've heard better things about. I've heard it is slower than what you'd be used to, I guess, from a thriller. But I felt like The Patient was also kind of slow. I mean, people rave about that book, but it is kind of slow at parts. So it looks like this is an ex-movie star. on an idyllic private Greek island, and I guess there's a murder. It says, my name is Elliot Chase, and I'm going to tell you a story unlike anything you've ever heard. This is a tale of murder. And next I have Rabbits by Terry Miles, and this is from my sweet friend Jess, not to be confused with Jessie from the channel Reading with Jess, but my friend Jess, who I actually got to meet for the first time in person last week when I was on a work trip in Pennsylvania where she lives. So that was super fun. I've been talking to her online for years and finally got to meet her in person and eat some pasta, and it was just so much fun. So great to get to meet her. But she sent me this one, and this is, I heard it's a little bit weird, but it's like a mystery with like an alternate reality game, and I've heard it's a little bit weird, and I'm totally here for it. I've always been interested in this one. It says a deadly underground game might just be altering reality itself in this surreal techno thriller set in the world of the popular Rabbits podcast, which I've never listened to the podcast, but every time I've heard this book pitched, even though it doesn't really have elements that I usually would go for, weird, alternate reality, gaming, I still am very intrigued by this. So hopefully this is a good one, because Jess has gifted me some books over the years and I've never loved any of them. So we'll see if maybe this is the one. Okay, next, another birthday gift from my friend Gwen from the channel Gwendolyn Kensinger. This is Foe by Ian Reid. Scribd by Ian Reid was my favorite book of 2023, and I'm really interested in this one. I've heard really good things about it, and I've heard that if I liked Scribd that I would like this one. So I'm very excited to pick this one up. It's pretty short, and I don't really know what it's about. Oh, haunting philosophical puzzle of a novel set in the near future, isolated farm. So it definitely has some like buzzwords that I typically would go for. Eerily entrancing, page turning, churns with unease and suspense from the first words to the shocking finale. And that I am totally here for, because that is how I would describe Scribd. So I'm hoping that this like gives me the same feelings of like eerie and just like unsettling. Next we have Cain's Jawbone, and I don't actually know who this is about. Oh, by that, however you say that. And this cute little book that's about the size of my hand was gifted to me by my sister for Christmas, and she had really good things to say about it. 6 murders, 100 pages, millions of possible combinations, but only one is correct. Can you solve this murder mystery? So it seems like you are figuring out and having to solve the crime as it's happening, which seems like a really interesting concept and seems really fun. It says, please note, this puzzle is extremely difficult and not for the faint-hearted. Only 3 puzzlers have ever solved the mystery. Do you have what it takes to join their ranks? So it seems pretty fun. The world's most fiendishly difficult literary puzzle. If James Joyce and Agatha Christie had a literary love child, this would be it. Oh yeah, excited for that one. I'll have to be able to read that when I like can sit down and like pay attention and maybe like take notes on it. Next we have The Last Carolina Girl by Megan Church, and this was gifted to me for my birthday from my friend Summer from the channel Seasons Reading, so thank you once again, Summer. And this cover is also gorgeous. I read another Megan Church book earlier in the year, and I liked the writing style, so I definitely wanted to try another one, and this was the other one that I was interested in. So it seems like this girl like lives in a southern Carolina town, and her father dies, and so she's forced to act as a helpmate for a well-to-do household. And so it seems like there's prejudice and secrets, and it's set in 1935. It says a powerful and heart-wrenching story of strength, forgotten history, autonomy, and the places and people we ultimately call home. So it sounds pretty hard-hitting and like the type of historical fiction that I like to read. And I have another Christmas gift here, and this is The Quiet Tenant by, I don't know how to say that author's name, but this was gifted to me also by Jessie from the channel Reading with Jess. My friend group, the Fab Five, Gwen, Jessie, Summer, Jordan, and I, we decided to all have a Christmas book exchange, and we each gifted each other books and like little gifts as well, and it was just so much fun. We got to open it on like video together and kind of all just talk and reminisce and open our presents and watch each other open presents, and it was a super great Christmas memory. So that is a nice memory to have with this book as well. But I did read this book this month, and so I don't want to talk too much about it because I'll have in my wrap up, I have a vlog about it. So all I'm going to say is that this is about a serial killer and the women that are in his life. And it's written from the perspective of the women in his life. So that's all I'm going to say about that for now. The next 2 I got from a used bookstore. First we have Little Disasters by Sarah Vaughan. I've had this one on my radar for a long time, and I'm excited to finally pick it up. It seems like a domestic thriller having to do with moms, and that's kind of all I know about it, but I've heard really good things. And then we have Murder in the Family by Kara Hunter, and I've heard that this is just really bingeable and easy to get through, and it has like mixed media and all sorts of different types of things happening in here. And oh, apparently whoever had this before me was highlighting it, so that's kind of cool. I'll be able to see like what they were interested in. Looks like maybe they're have a little character list going, but definitely has some cool pictures and different types of things in here. So, oh wow, look at that. So yeah, this should be interesting, and I am going to read this in February. Okay, I need to stop looking at all the pages. So it looks like a guy died in the front yard of his house and his family was upstairs asleep, and 20 years later they're trying to figure out who did it. They're still trying to like crack open this famous cold case. And the last birthday gift is from my friend Jordan from the channel Sorry Book Solid, and she gifted me The Reformatory by Tanana Reeve Dew. I've never read anything by this author, but this sounded so good. It is a little bit of a chunker, so I'm a little bit afraid. But it sounds like it has some asylum vibes, which you know I am here for. And this is set in Gracetown, Florida in 1950. And it's based on the infamous Dozier School for Boys, which I have read a book about. And I've actually been to the area where the Dozier School for Boys was. And so I know a lot about that and done a lot of research on it. So I'm interested to see like how closely this follows that. And then I have 2 Book of the Month books for you. The first is Only If You're Lucky by Stacey Willingham. I've liked Stacey Willingham books in the past, but none of them are like all-time favorites, so maybe this one will be. A sharp and twisty exploration of female friendship from the best-selling author of A Flicker in the Dark and All the Dangerous Things. And I don't know much more than that, and I don't want to, because this will be the Sleep When I'm Dead pick for March. So I will be on that one, as well as Jordan from Sorry Book Solid will join Jessie on her channel. And then last but not least, we have First Light Wins by Ashley Elston, and I've heard a lot of really good rave reviews about this book, so I'm really excited to read it. Every porter has everything a nice Southern girl could want. A doting boyfriend, a house with a white picket fence, a tight group of friends. The only catch, Evie Porter doesn't exist. So it looks like she's just given this identity and has to start over, and we have to figure out why. But yeah, heard good things, so I'm really excited. I hope I like this one, because it's been a while since I've like loved a thriller. So I feel like I'm due for a 5-star thriller. Okay, that was 15 books. So go ahead and let me know down in the comments if you've read any of these books and what you thought of them. And once again, if you gifted me a book for my birthday or for Christmas, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. Please hit that subscribe button. It really helps out my channel, and I'll see you next time. Bye.